Hello guys, how are you? I hope you all of you are good. Okay, today we're gonna discuss about a problem. It came to Code versus Round 956 Division 2, and the problem name is Corn and Twist. So it's a decent question, and it has a rating of 1200. This question is pretty much easy, but if you complicated it, if you read this question, you would think that this problem is much complicated, but it's not that much complicated as you think. Okay. Okay, let's read the question first to understand what they are wanting to solve. Okay, so you are given two grids of numbers a and b. So we have given two grids a and b, and each grid contains n row and m columns, and all the values in the grid are 0, 1 and 2. So every values in every element in this grid is 1, 0 and 2. Okay, so we can perform the following operation on a any number of times. Okay, we can perform the following operations here any number of times. What we can do, we can take any sub rectangle. Let's assume this grid 0, 0, 0, 0. From the test cases here, first test cases, the whole we take the whole sorry uh, this is the grid 3 into 3 grid, and we can take any subrectangle greater or equal to, okay, the length of the subrectangle should be greater than or equal to. Okay, so this subrectangle has what, has 3 into 3, and if we take whole rectangle as a subrectangle, because it has 3 into 3, so it is obviously much greater than 2. So what we can do, we can choose any corners here, this corner or this corner, or we can choose this corner also. So if we choose a corner, let's assume we choose this corner. So if we choose this corner, then we will add here 1, add 1. Okay, and in the opposite corner which we haven't taken, we will add 2 there. But not only 2, we have to add a modulo of them. So let's assume we want to add 1. So if we want add 1, then we have to after adding this, we have to make the modulo. We have to write the modulo of this number. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, and the 1 modulo 3 is equal to 1. Okay, and 0 plus 2 is equal to 2, and 0 plus 2 modulo 3, it means 2. Okay, that was the question. So they are asking, is it possible to convert grid A into grid B by applying the above operation any number of times, possibly 0. Okay, they are saying any number of times, and obviously they are saying possibly 0. Can we make this operation possibly 0? Okay, the test cases given test cases, and each test case contains n and m number of rows and columns. Okay, this is basic parts, and output for each test case we have to print yes if it is possible to convert grid A into grid B, otherwise no. Okay, so this question is pretty much easy, and we have to figure it out an approach, the easiest approach to solve this. So I have came to an approach. I have applied a greedy approach to solve this problem. The way I have solved, I think this problem, I thought that this is the thing. So let's assume that second test cases, it says n is equal to 4 and m is equal to 4, and our first grid A, given or every element of grid A is 0, and every element of grid B has 2 1 0 0 1 2 0 0 0 0 1 2 and 0 0 2 1. Okay, so this grid has what we will do, this can be solved easily by a greedy approach. This is the greedy approach. Listen carefully. If sum of row B, let's assume I, let's take bi, and sum of row ai, because we will take each row. So if sum of row bi and if sum of row, the subtract value of So we will subtract the sum of row minus from whom, from B. We will take the sum of the rows from grid B first, and same let's assume we are taking first row from B, and we will take first row from A. So the summation of first row from B is 2 plus 1 plus 0 is equal to 3, and the summation of the first row of grid A is 0. So now we will check, is it possible, is it 3%, 3, is it 0 0? Yes, obviously 3% 3 is equal to 0. So our condition is okay. So if our condition is okay, we will we will go to the next row. We will check each row in the same condition. Each row will take each row summation of each row, and we also will take summation of each row from grid A and subtract the value of the summation of grid A from grid B. So 3 minus 0, and here also 3 minus 0, also 3 minus 0. So every one of them is divisible by 3. Okay, then our first condition. Okay, now we will take the second condition. What our second condition says? Our second condition says the same approach we will apply this now for column. Now we will take the summation of columns from grid B and grid A, and then we will subtract the summation of grid A column. Subtract the summation of columns of grid A from grid B. So we will take the summation of the summation of column from grid B first. So let's assume let's take first column, 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0, it means 3, and we will take the summation of column first column from A. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Okay, so 3 minus 0 is equal to also 3, and 3 is divisible by 3. So our condition is okay, and we will check every column the same condition. If every column has gone through the conditions, then we will say this grid A can be we can change grid A into grid B, and it is possible. But if we somehow get any number that the summation it is not divisible by 3, then we can instantly print that it is not possible. We can print no instantly, but we have to check all the cases first. If we want to print, is it possible to make this transfer this is it possible to transfer grid A from grid B from A. Okay, so let's take third another test cases. So here n is equal to 2 and m is equal to 7. Now we'll do the same thing. We will take the summation of the row from first. We will take summation of row from grid B, and then we will subtract the summation of grid A from B. Okay, the summation of grid B, the first row is what? Is 6 plus 9. Okay, 9, and the summation of the first row from A is equal to 0, and it is divisible by 3. Okay, no problem. And also we will take the summation of the second row. The summation of second row is also 9, and the summation of the second row of A is also 0. Sorry, 9, and here is 0, and it is also divisible by 3. So no problem in there. Okay, so what we will do, but we checked our first condition, but again we have to check our second condition now. So in our second condition, we will check each column. So let's take each column. Let's take column column. So when we will take column, when we are taking column, we will say let's okay, Here in the first column it has 2 and 0. B, in the grid B, it has 2 0. Grid B, first column. Okay, in grid B first column we get 2 plus 0. It means 2 plus 0, and the summation of the columns, first column of grid A is 0, minus 0. Okay, our answer is 2. Is it divisible by 3? Is it divisible by 3? No, it's not divisible by 3. So as it is not divisible by 3, we can say that this grid A can't be it is not possible to convert this grid A into grid B, because it doesn't maintain the condition of ours. So this is the correct approach and greedy method to solve this problem. And I thought in my opinion, I thought it is much easier way to solve this problem, rather taking any constructive algorithm or implementation. So this is my answer. What I have done, I took two arrays and I take input of A, and I inserted it on the array, first array and second array. Then I took two variables and I use a loop, two for loop. I used two for loop for the summation of the rows. What I did here, I used loop through the all elements of the rows, and I as I took input as a character, I converted this every element into integer, and I added all the elements in my first variable, and also I took the elements from grid A on the second variable. Then I took another variable to get the result of subtraction of the summation of grid B minus summation of grid A, and I checked the condition, is it divisible by 3? Is it divisible by 3? Okay, then continue, else we can print instantly no, return. Then we have to check the same condition for column, and I checked the same process. I used the same process for the column, and if everything is okay, then I printed cout yes, but else no. So this was the code part, and it was pretty much easy and decent question and not much hard if you followed the greedy approach. I hope you understand, even though I did so much mistake. Please pardon me and keep it up. Thank you.